Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing? I thought today what we would do keep it kind of light and breezy, not too intense, not too full on, so you can just watch and listen and see what you think, go away and take some action, or go away and don't take some action, whatever you feel like. But it's very low effort. So I chose, as you've seen, I've chosen a picture of Madonna for the promotion of this live today, and you might have noticed that I've used her quite a bit. So obviously I'm a Madonna fan, you've worked that out, but also I just think she's a good visual image of strength and power, of fearlessness, ambition, and being self-made. So, whether you like the music or the politics or the religion, I kind of feel like we could all do with a bit of a dose of her confidence. And hence, if you're wondering why is she obsessed with Madonna, that's why. I didn't just pick her randomly. I just think she's a good. Her attributes are what we're about here, basically. So, as I said, keeping it really nice and basic and simple today, but I thought we'd talk about just ways to improve your profile, because my belief is that most of us nurses are not known for our outspokenness or our boldness. We're quite a shy bunch. And if you've listened to any of my podcasts, you'll know that I believe that nurses suffer with something called underdog syndrome. And people ask, people say to me, what do I mean by that? Is it the same as imposter syndrome? And no, I don't think it is. So for me, imposter syndrome is something that people talk about, the fear of being found out, the fear that you're a fraud and you've achieved a level beyond your expectation. So it can often affect people who have achieved very highly, and I've heard it, read about it from very well-known actors or very experienced surgeons. So that it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting concept, but it's slightly different from what I'm talking about. So underdog syndrome for me is something that affects nurses. I think that most of us actually do know that we actually do deserve to be where we are. And in fact, for a lot of us, I think we know that we could actually achieve more. We actually have more potential in us. And this doesn't affect all nurses. Obviously, this is a bit of a generalisation. There are some nurses out there who have achieved incredible achievements in their nursing career and life, and we're not all born, or we're not all born to kind of get to the top, for want of a better phrase. We're not all completely absorbed in our careers, and I think also in your kind of lifetime you go through different phases where career kind of settles into the background a bit more, then it might come up a bit more. So everybody's different. We don't all want to be the chief nurse or whatever, but I feel that the NHS is kind of a strange environment, and if you're interested in underdog syndrome, have a listen to the podcast. But I kind of feel that it has a clever way of keeping nurses in their place, so that we're quite obedient as a profession, and we don't really ask for very much. We're quite resilient. We get on with it, and I think we sort of learn to turn the volume down a little bit, and I think over long periods of time that starts to kind of chip away at our self-confidence and our self-worth a bit. And that's kind of why I call it underdog syndrome, because I think actually deep down, most of us know we're pretty goddamn good, but we're just a little bit reserved, a little bit lacking in confidence. So, so I entitled this, showing up or showing off. It's it's for us to tell other people what we're good at, what we do. Nobody else is going to do that for us. And I think, we live in a very digital world now. Um, and I would say again that the NHS is probably about a decade behind the rest of the world in terms of IT, and that kind of thing. And so perhaps again that means that nurses aren't necessarily great at technology. Again, massive generalisation, but our use of IT in an NHS setting can often be quite frustrating, quite poor functioning. It doesn't give us the best view of it, and I think it makes a lot of nurses quite reticent about using it very much outside. And so I know that social media can feel a bit kind of a bit showy offy and a bit false for some people. Let me show you what I ate for my dinner, or how hard my workout is. And for some people I think that can be quite uncomfortable, but as I say, it's 2020, and I think it is the way to kind of get yourself out there, get networking, and get yourself kind of known, really. So it might not feel relevant to you, but I really think it is. And I think that by not getting ourselves out there, we've got the potential to be missing out on opportunities that we're not even aware of. We don't even know they exist, because there's stuff going on out there. There's projects that are available to be involved in, roles to be had, things that you might enjoy, things that you might find rewarding, but I think we need to get ourselves out there a bit more. So I've got a few slides.